Hi everyone, welcome to another session on our loafers making class. I remain your aspiring footwear professor, Peter Shalom Gebe. In our previous session, we were able to prepare the stiffener and to insert the stiffener. So right about now, we're going to the lasting proper. So the first thing we're going to do when lasting our shoe, we're going to check our back height, which was already indicated in our shoe here, in our last rather. So that is where our lasting starts from the back part. You check the back height and make sure that everything is placed in order. Then you start pulling the shoe upper. Some persons desire to pull the lining before pulling the upper, but in this case, apply adhesive and cover some parts of the lining and the upper. The essence is to make sure you leave an allowance where you insert your stiffener at the front part. So right about now, it's time to start pulling the upper. If you notice, I do not add adhesive all through on the front part because I will be attaching my front stiffener, that's the top off rather, or front stiffener as others will call it. So it's time to pull. First you check from the back height, make sure everything is okay. You pull the front part also, make sure it's in the center. You can use your pincer and do the pulling. That is your first pull to make sure the front part is okay. I'm pulling both my lining and my upper for a start. This is part of the molding process as well. I want you to know the key parts of our lasting. This is the front part, which is the first one. The second is the side, that's the inner part. You pull on the inner part and tag also. I'm not using the pincer because of the strength. You pull also on the other part, making the third part of the lasting, that's the front part. Then you now move down to the ball gauge point. Make sure you are doing this and you are checking down to the ball gauge point. Then you also pull again. That's the fourth and the fifth part of the lasting process. These are cardinal points of your lasting. You are doing that, you are checking whether your lasting is centralized or not. So this is the fifth one. Then you can go further and have the seventh and the eighth part, that's on the edges also of your last. If you can see, everything is lapping accurately after the pulling. Now let's have the seventh and the eighth part of the tag nails. So what I'm about to do now is to check the strength of the pulling. So what I just did is to check how strong my pulling was, to feel it and to before I can go further with subsequent lasting. I have to check and make sure that it's strong enough. That's why I pull with that flap that make the sound. The first three nails that we were able to tag earlier, we'll remove them and leaving those on the ball gauge point. So that's the four parts of the shoe, the vamp parts of the shoe. We're leaving only that of the ball gauge point forward, but we'll remove those ones. Now we'll now focus only on the lining. We now pull the lining separately and tag it with nails again. Remember, the material you're using is very important for you to note. If it's strong enough that you can use your pincer, you now use your pincer, but be careful when using your pincer. If you don't hold your pincer properly, it can end up injuring your lining material or your material in generally. So repeat the same process with the lining alone. This essence is to make your pulling more secured and more to be able to lap properly on the last, because it's the shape of the last that will give the shape of the shoe you are making. So now you can increase more tags as you pull, more tags on the fore part as well as the back part all round. You can include as much tags as you do your lasting. It's very, very important, because those tags will help you out in giving the shape of your shoe. So anywhere you see a curve, pull it and use a tag. If you cannot use a tag, you also have staples that you can use while lasting. This is an important part of lasting. After you're done with the lining, you now apply your adhesive.
This guy, let's see this one. You want to invite some people. One man, he was like, no man, one time, say she didn't for someone I'm asking of because of that one. So we start planning. And Sabine will give favor. Help one shot at pastor. He gets up. Our husband. The husband daughter. Let's see this one. What's another this small thing? Is it? So, this one also, it's a small window. Small this.
To have a perfect lasting on the front part of the shoe, you need to do something very, very important. After you last and you pull your upper, don't forget you will have excess material like this. So what you should do is to trim it and reduce the excess material. Just trim it. By trimming it, it will help you able to fold your lasting down, a kind of twisting it properly when doing the final covering with the adhesive of the shoe. Allow the adhesive to dry and you pick and twist. Pick and twist. That's how you have a very good front part lasting of your shoe. So this is how far we can go for this very section. As you can see, the lasting process is an interesting part of the shoemaking. We're taking you this step by step gradually so that you can be able to understand the process of the shoemaking. This front part and the back part are very, very important parts of the shoe. The side is not a big deal. You can just cover it up easily. Remember, you've already used your tack nails to get the parts of your shoe. So you now pull over and cover them. So you do the same thing with the back part also, by twist and pull, twist and cover rather. So now the back part, you now do the same process you did on the front part. They are key positions.
You know the Niger, so they will not credit you.
Your back stiffener might have an excess that you need to trim, so it's now time for you to open and trim it off to be on the feather edge of the shoe at least. Then you will now go further, apply your adhesive, then cover the back part of your shoe. Then after that, we'll now move into the next segment, which will be the attaching of the stiffener and the front stiff, or the toe puff rather. So that is how far we can go with this very session. Remember, if you have any question, you drop your questions on the comment section here, and to those who are in the paid class as well, you can follow us in the paid class as we discuss further. Ask your questions, let's discuss on the questions and see how we can meet your needs. If you have not subscribed to this channel as well, please do well to subscribe to this channel as we keep you posted with our updated videos. We're still working on improving ourselves on a daily basis, bringing in new ideas, new technologies on how to make shoe, and also refer someone to like this page so that you can learn something good and interesting about shoemaking.
Say Ben, finish that one and turn it. Ben, finish the one, no say my still. Okay? So, this is just that.
It's now time to remove all the tack nails that you've used in lasting your upper. Now you have a lasted upper that has not been finished yet because of the stiffener. In our next video, we're going to show you how to attach your stiffener and how to make it more securely and beautiful. We're going to be using the fiber stiffener on this very project. That is how far we can go, and it's a bye for now. See you in the comment section and the group.